In this episode of Dolce Vita, expand your wine knowledge with wine expert Winston Wong. Make summer days more exciting by going underwater. And for all the fashionistas out there, check out the creative ways to incorporate recycled materials into fashion design.
I'm sure a lot of people would agree that enjoying a good wine requires companionship. The feeling of joy occurs when it is collective. So, when you open a bottle of good wine, for sure, you don't want to be alone. And if your friend is a wine expert, even better. Meet my friend Winston Wong, who's a true wine connoisseur. Winston's journey into wine began early. He was the youngest man to be inducted into one of the most prestigious French wine brotherhoods, Le Jurat du Centimillion. And with a strong passion for wine, he has been traveling around the world on the quest for wine that excites his taste buds. And more importantly, to bring new tastes to people in Hong Kong. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, Winston, what sparks your passion for wine?
So about 15 years ago, a good friend of mine introduced me to an owner of a wine shop. And we spent a lot of weekends there. We drink a lot of wine. And our topics were mainly wine, cigar, and nice music. So it's actually the intricacies in wine that fascinates me. And then I traveled to the wine country with my friend. I drove along the path of a vineyard. I really liked the environment. And we tried a lot of different wines. Such as some nice Sangiovese, Tempranillo grape, Pinot Gris, Gewürztraminer, etc. And I remember I actually look in the sunset, I'm drinking some nice white wine, and there are a guitarist at the side playing some Latin jazz with some nice Santana songs. How incredible. So after back Hong Kong, I import some really interesting boutique wines, and although some are less well known, but the quality is superb. So that's my road to Damascus.
Winston has a strong passion for discovering the lesser-known wine regions, and Bulgaria is one of them.
And tell us, what is so special about Bulgarian wine?
Bulgarian wine is nothing short of remarkable. It has a really long history in winemaking. It can be traced back to the Thracians about 6,000 years ago. Yeah. There are a lot of interesting grape varieties, like the Malfruit, Melnik. But actually, I have a fond of the Merlot grape from the middle part of Bulgaria. The soil is quite similar to the Centimillion in Bordeaux. In fact, the first time I ever tried Bulgarian wine is from Bordeaux during an en-primeur campaign. A chateau owner actually introduced me his Bulgarian wine, which sat alongside with all those big names, famous Grand Cru Classé. And this Bulgarian wine shines. It's brilliant. I can't wait to bring to Hong Kong. But imagine, like 10 years ago, there weren't so many people import Bulgarian wine in Hong Kong. So it actually took me about a few nights to think about it. But I tasted again and again, back and forth. The qualities just convinced me, totally convinced me. So I'm glad that I did bring to Hong Kong, because now it became one of my best-selling wine in my wine shop every year. And this wine is also quite good matching with the barbecue pork.
Oh, really?
Yeah, roast goose, or even Shanghainese cuisines like the braised pork belly.
So it matches well with Chinese cuisine.
Yes, it's a perfect match.
Speaking of the hidden gems in the world of wine, I know you have a special interest in Spanish wine. Can you tell us more about it?
Spain is a very exciting country. The food and wine is just amazing. So from the East Coast to the West Coast, we have a whole wide spectrum of different unique terroirs and great varieties. For example, in Galicia, you have the beautiful Albariño from the Rías Baixas region, which shows very beautiful spring flower, citrus aroma. And in Valdeorras, you have that very full-bodied Cordero and very complex as well. On the east coast, you have the Sumo grape from the Penedès region, which is very delicate. It shows beautiful minerality. And in the Priorat region, you have very old, over 100-year-old vines from the Carignan grape, which is also my favorite wine from Spain. I like the artisanal winemaking. That really fascinates me. And these wide range of grapes also create a playground for all the connoisseurs, wine lovers, and the sommeliers to play around with different flavors in the food and wine matching. And also it creates the energy, keeps the energy moving. So it's quite fun. I remember in 2014, I got a chance to visit a winery up in the Pyrenees mountain, which is about 1,000 meters above sea level. Can you imagine how high it is? And the tranquility is nice and it's surreal, and the wine is so delicate. And their wine is actually fermented in a stone vat, hand-carved by the Hospitalian monks back in the 12th century. So in 12th century, the monks were already growing grapes to serve the monastery. So it's just amazing. And the stone vats were so high, it's over 2 meters. So I actually jumped down myself. I couldn't get back out by myself. So what an experience for me, yeah.
To Winston, exploring wine is a beautiful adventure. Every difference in taste, every backstory and experience is something to be celebrated.
If the astonishing grape varieties in Spain is not enough to amaze you, don't worry, because Winston still has some surprises up his sleeves. Before my visit today, honestly, I didn't know too much about wine from Taiwan. Can you tell me more about it?
Taiwanese wine is something relatively new to me. I have a very good Taiwanese friend who actually brought me a few bottles to taste. And it's actually a white wine from Taichung. The grape is called Musan. And I was totally overwhelmed by its aroma. It's so aromatic. It has a beautiful aroma of Taiwanese guava, some ginger, pineapple, and even lychee. It's just sensational. And then I take a visit to the winery. I'm glad that I met the owner, Vivian Yang, and I was deeply touched by her passion and her soul. And she's the third generation of the agricultural family. And it's also her father's dream to show to the people that this Musan grape from Taiwan can shine in the world stage. And the daughter now carry on with her father's dream. And so it's quite touching. They built a winery from scratch, and they hire some experts from Napa Valley, from California, to help them to build a winery. There's a lot of work.
So it is this wine that you are showcasing here? Well, I can really smell traditional Taiwanese fruits.
Yeah.
Guava?
Yes, that's right.
And a very strong scent of lychee.
Yeah. It's just like you're having a full basket of Taiwanese fruits just right in front of you. It's just wonderful. And yeah, they did a great job. Actually, their wine has been selected as a presidential gift during the president's foreign affair trips overseas. And their winery has been also chosen as the world best 13 winery according to World Finance magazine. And also their wine has been featured in many famous Michelin star restaurants, as well as some 5-star hotels. So in my opinion, this wine goes so well with the Asian dishes, with a little bit of spice, and even Singaporean and Malaysian cuisines.
I can't wait to have one more taste of it. Yeah, cheers. And what do you expect to see in the Hong Kong wine market?
The Hong Kong wine lovers nowadays, they're really open-minded, they're very adventurous, and they're willing to explore to different continents and to specific terroir. So I think boutique wine shops is definitely a place to go to search for these hidden gems. And in my opinion, wine is like a form of art. It shows the emotion and expression of the winemaker and vine growers. So we, as a storyteller, we are very happy to be able to share this joy with all the wine lovers and connoisseurs in Hong Kong.
Wine is a great way to create chemistry between people that transcends boundaries of culture and time. And if you're on the right track, you will agree that wine tasting is the best way to open your mind and also broaden your horizon.
After the break, enjoy the sea from a different angle. And jump on board the upcycling bandwagon in style.
I'm a huge fan of any kinds of water sports, such as kayaking, wake surfing, wakeboarding, and I think it is a really great opportunity for me to exercise. And every water sport can offer you an opportunity to discover the nature, see? And also I can learn something new, so it really fits my personality. I think scuba diving is the only water sport that I didn't have a chance to try, but guess what? I just overcame this challenge and received my diving license. So I'm really looking forward to any scuba diving adventures. I think scuba diving is the direct way to engage with the underwater world, so I can't wait to do that for my very first time in Hong Kong. What are some of the basic rules we need to follow before diving?
So we need to make sure that we have had enough sleep the night before and no alcohol intake before you dive. Also, we need to make sure that we have had all the gear we need. For example, we need a mask, snorkel, regulator, wetsuit, pants, maybe undergarment, and our fins. And also, we need to bring our dive computer.
I think the most challenging thing during the training session was the underwater breathing technique, because it was an important thing to learn how to control your body and float in the water easier. Which crucial parts we need to pay attention to once we're in the water?
So we never dive alone. Remember this hand signal. This is the buddy team hand signal. So we need to stay close with our buddy. The second thing is we never hold our breath, because if we hold our breath and we shoot up all of a sudden, we would get lung injury. We also never touch marine life, because we need to respect them, respect their home. Also, we have different hand signals that we need to remember. For example, the instructor is going to ask you whether you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you answer an okay.
Yes.
This is going up, which is ascending, and this is going down, which is descending. So these are the very important hand signals that we need to remember.
Any useful tips for safe diving?
Okay, so we need to check the weather before we go out. And when we are on site, we also need to check the current. Some other tools that may be helpful when we go diving. It includes the surface marker buoy. We usually deploy that before we ascend to let people who are using the entire ocean with us know that there are divers below. It's called DSMB, the Delayed Surface Marker Buoy. We deployed it when we are about to ascend, so people who are doing kayaking, jet skiing, stand-up paddleboarding, or people who are on boat parties would know that we are there. And the other tool is the dive alert. It creates a very loud sound which can be heard up to a mile away.
Why Hong Kong can offer a different kind of diving experience compared to other countries?
Okay, so diving in Hong Kong, it's a lot of fun because Hong Kong is pretty small. We are very close to the city. So from the city to the marine protected area, probably it just takes an hour. Also, we don't have big reef like overseas, but then We have sandy bottom and muddy bottom, and they provide an environment for different types of marine creatures as well. Some of them are very unique in Hong Kong.
One important tip I learned from the training session actually is holding your breath can result in serious injury and even death, as the air in divers' lung contracts during descent. So learning how to control your breath is really important thing to keep in mind. This is such a unique experience, as I didn't expect the underwater world in Hong Kong could be that fascinating. I think I need to spend more time discovering the beauty parts of Hong Kong from now.
We are living in a fast-paced world now. From technological development to the ever-changing fashion trends, everything seems to come and go in the blink of an eye. Sometimes it's really hard to keep up with all the different fashion trends while you're building up your own unique style. What's the best tip of staying on top of the game? Come with me to speak with the fashion insiders and learn more.
I think future of fashion will be sustainable and also eco-friendly. And it has to be creative and fun too. And I think this sustainable fashion will become part of our life soon.
The fashion industry is no stranger to the sustainability issue. Many designers and brands are shifting away from conventional practices and embracing new ways of production. And this local design duo here is one of them. So tell us more about your beautiful pieces and what kind of material that you use to make all these.
They are actually come from recycled plastic that we collect, and then we kind of like soften it in low heat temperatures so they can be softened. We can mold it after it. Since like the plastic issue is a big problem like for the earth or for our living, and after this a typhoon, typhoon signal number 10 like in 2018, and yeah, we found out this is like a very serious problem that we want people to know about it or like do things about it.
Sometimes getting the environmental message out to the public could be challenging. That's why Maureen and Connie chose to address the plastic problem through these jewelry pieces and reached out to people in a more lighthearted way. Incorporating recycled materials into fashion design is great. But producing garments with the use of sustainable material is just as important.
As a brand, we really care about sustainability as well, and therefore we use merino wool as our key material. Merino wool is actually biodegradable and renewable. And also, as a knitwear brand, we don't have much waste when we make products.
Local designer Cynthia has teamed up with her college friend Xiao Xiao to co-found a knitwear brand in 2014. Their knitwear pieces are known for telling unique stories through the whimsical design. I really like your animal knitwear. So can you share with us more about the story behind your collection?
So basically our Autumn Winter 20, the whole story we want to bring up is kind of this awareness to endangered animals. So we a lot of our graphics we use is kind of like showing, okay, maybe like from a panda, the top part is actually a panda, but then slowly it becomes like a pixel. And kind of the whole story is that we want people to see, okay, if we don't take care of these amazing creatures right now, what would happen in 50 years?
Can you walk us through the making of process?
So for knitwear, it's slightly different from woven. So we always start with selecting the yarn. I think the good thing about doing knitwear is that everything starts from scratch in terms of the prints, in terms of the thickness and kind of the texture you want. And then we'll do all the design in-house. So we do everything, drawings, creating the artworks, and kind of transforming those artwork into knitwear. And then once all those knitwear is done, then we actually create some kind of a tech pack. And then that tech pack we send to a knit factory who will actually do the sample for us.
In your point of view, what do you look for a truly quality fashion piece?
For me, I think it's about actually something that you can wear for a very long time. It's
a piece that when you see it, you fell in love with it, you feel very comfortable in it, and it could actually be worn within like 10 years time. Like, I think quality is very important.
Fashion has always been a huge part of my life. I love to dress up for both work occasions and for fun. After chatting with the local designers today, I think I have a new and different perspective of fashion. To me, fashion is so powerful. It can allow you to look fabulous on the outside, and by making the right decision in supporting ethical designs, fashion can also make you feel amazing from the inside out. That's all the time we have for this week's episode. If you want to find out more about what we have introduced, remember to log on to our website. In the coming weeks, continue to enjoy all the beautiful things in life. Besides having a taste of izakaya experience, we will also learn everything you need to know about antique appraisal and discover items that increase value with time. Have a taste of chocolates unlike anything you've ever had before, and be amazed at the level of flavor in desserts. Also, immerse yourself in the beauty of cars. Join us again next time for ways to enjoy life more.